NGLCC. Mr. Daly also claimed that Richard Ellis was elected to the NGLCC board as a private citizen and not a representative of McDonald's. Yet Richard Ellis is listed on the NGLCC website as Vice President of Communications of McDonald's of USA. So dedicated to promoting gay activities on public streets, McDonald's sponsored the two-day San Francisco Gay Pride Parade with a television commercial. In the ad, McDonald's brags that it is a company that actively demonstrates its commitment to the gay and lesbian community. And you can go on the website and watch the ad. We've been following this story, as sad and shameful as it is. I call for the church to wake up and stand for something, get out of the pew and into the streets, and let it be known that this lifestyle is ungodly, and although we can't prevent it because adults can do whatever they want to in their bedroom, that we don't have to accept it. And just because the TV says not to denounce the gay lifestyle, that we don't live by what a TV says is right. Our nation is in decline socially, morally, spiritually, and as a result economically. And we better look and understand how far we have failed and start to grasp our true reality. The Real News crew will be covering the upcoming Bilderberg meeting in Chantilly, Virginia. If you are unfamiliar with the Bilderberg group, they were formed in 1954 and met at Hotel de Bilderberg in the Netherlands. That's where the name came from. It is an invitation-only annual meeting of 130 of the world's most elite, a secret meeting held once a year. Last year's meeting was in Istanbul, Turkey. Attendees include central bankers, defense experts, mass media barons, prime ministers, and members of the royal family, international financiers, and United States political leaders. Names of those who have been attended include Prince Philip, Prince Charles, Juan Carlos, King of Spain, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Gerald Ford, Dan Quayle, Colin Powell, Tony Blair, and Peter Jennings, and the list goes on and on. So I ask everyone to investigate this group if you're unaware of what I'm talking about. And the Real News crew is going to be covering that in a couple of weeks. And I think that if you don't know what we're talking about, I think you will be very surprised at what's going on here. If you'd like to call in, 704-873-1400, Davie County, 336-499-0681. And we're going to go to a break and come back with some more news. Back on the Real News, I just wiped the sweat from my brow, and we're going to go to Brian at this time.
This previous Monday, May 19th, Albertas Infrastructuras, a Spanish toll road operator, won a bidding war to operate the Pennsylvania Turnpike for $12.8 billion for 75 years and collect tolls. Cintra, another company owned by none other than King Juan Carlos of Spain, has already leased American roads, including the Chicago Skyway. Cintra also owns the contract for the Texas Department of Transportation's Trans-Texas Corridor Superhighway, a main artery in the NAFTA superhighway system that many representatives, including Texas Congressman Ron Paul, have warned would facilitate the groundwork for a North American Union. Major media has all but ignored the situation, with the exception of Lou Dobbs, and of the smaller media outlets that have been outspoken on the issue, many are being silenced through acquisition. Last year alone, Australian toll road giant Macquarie agreed to purchase 40 local newspapers, primarily within Texas and Oklahoma. The Trans-Texas Corridor alone is projected to require over 9,000 acres of land, much of which has been stolen and seized via eminent domain. The leases for these roads are being made possible through public-private partnerships, PPPs, now under the stewardship of the secretive Security and Prosperity Partnership, which operates without congressional oversight. PPPs have the potential to expand to include anything the public owns: parking lots, sports stadiums, parks, perhaps even national monuments. The creation of a North American Union will ultimately seal the end of our country's sovereignty and with it our Constitution. This, of course, is the reason our borders, particularly with Mexico, are virtually unguarded as to allow the assimilation of our cultures. under the North American Union, a new constitution would also be created, just as with the European Union, and in all likelihood not as citizen-friendly as the one our founders wrote in 1787. We also have the precipitous fall of the U.S. dollar plunging against the euro, Japanese yen, and other currencies, and an orchestrated prelude to the introduction of the Amero, a new currency poised to replace the dollar mirroring that of the euro. So let us prepare for the future, a borderless North America in which we no longer enjoy civil liberties, sovereignty, decent paying jobs, or all that is going to make the United States a great place to live. The road to globalization is being built right over us, and irritating roadblocks like our Constitution, dollar, and autonomy won't stand a chance in the face of elitist interests determined to dominate the earth.
Shameful, obvious censorship attempting to buy up the newspapers to keep the American citizens blind to what's actually going on around them. And for anyone that's listening to this, you've heard none of it on our regular media. It's just an amazing story. It needs to be reported. That was good. This is something I think everyone will find interesting, and this was reported in London. The G2 Bulletin is the Chinese regime preparing for nuclear war. Defense analysts for the British intelligence service M16 believe China is preparing for the eventuality of a nuclear war. The conclusion follows evidence that Beijing has built secretly a major naval base deep inside caverns which even sophisticated satellites cannot penetrate. In an unusual development, the analysts have provided details of the specialist defense periodical, Jane's Intelligence Review, which published satellite images of the base location, which is hidden beneath millions of tons of rock on the South China Sea island of Hainan. The M16 analysts have confirmed the submarine base, hewn out of rock, will contain up to 20 of the latest C-94 Jin-class submarines, each capable of firing anti-satellite missiles and nuclear-tipped rockets. Knocking out the satellites would leave Taiwan, Japan, and other countries around the Pacific Rim effectively without a key warning system. An attack also would disrupt vital communications between the U.S. battle squadrons in the region and Washington. Satellite images studied by the GCHQ, Britain's spy and in the sky intelligence gathering organization based at Cheltenham, that works closely with the U.S. National Security Agency, has confirmed the entrance to the base is through no fewer than 11 separate tunnel openings. A Royal Navy nuclear submarine, one of those in the Typhoon fleet, now has joined another from the U.S. Pacific Fleet to build a clear image of what is happening inside the secret base, which, as well as China's nuclear subs, could house a host of aircraft carriers. Naval intelligence officers in London and Washington have confirmed the discovery of the base will present a significant challenge to the U.S. naval dominance and protection to those countries ringing the South China Sea. Now, we're reporting China has a huge secret underground base. This story is valid and being reported in different parts of the world. Then do you suppose, as important and significant as this is to both the world and to our national security, our media gives it practically no airtime? I submit to you, the listener, that our media is complicit in an effort to only report what is meant for you to know, and this is further proof. The real news is only being reported here and on a handful of other alternative media outlets. I'd like to report what came out Friday, May 23rd in the Washington Post. That's in the Washington Post. The Inspector General for the Defense Department said yesterday that the Pentagon cannot account for almost $15 billion worth of goods and services ranging from trucks, bottled water, mattresses, rocket